special order.
It is the biggest event on the Bellator MMA 2018 calendar, an 8-man heavyweight tournament featuring some of the biggest names in the history of mixed martial arts. 4 true heavies, 4 who have moved up from light heavyweight. The winner becomes the Bellator heavyweight champion. Tournament fights will take place throughout 2018, 1 tournament fight per night at 7 events. The plan is to crown a new champion by year's end. So here we go. Here are your pairings and the dates of those fights. First things first, January 20, it will be Chael Sonnen facing Quinton Rampage Jackson. Fedor Emelianenko also, you saw him, we'll get back to that. Matt Mitrione, Roy Nelson, that'll be on February the 16th. Mitrione, the favorite coming into this event. He beat Fedor Emelianenko last time out. The man who is regarded as the greatest heavyweight of all time faces former UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir. That will be in April. And then in May, Ryan Bader, who is the Bellator light heavyweight champ, will face the King, Kingmo Lawal, in that one. And they'll move to the semifinals there. And we saw our ESPN MMA analyst Chael Sonnen there. He'll participate. And Chael, as you saw, you drew Quinton Rampage Jackson. What do you make of your assignment?
I got Rampage. As it turns out, I'm ready to go on a rampage. I got no problem with the assignment, Max. Look, I'm a tournament guy. This is how I grew up in wrestling. I love the competitive architecture. Everybody understands a line bracket, from the NCAA to the Olympic Games to the NFL. I mean, you name it. Let's do it in MMA. I'm all for it.
All right, Chael, I understand there has been some bad blood between you and Rampage. Last time we were both together, you had to be separated. What's there that could add a little fuel to the fire here?
Separated in a hotel lobby in Phoenix, Arizona by Michael Bisping. When Michael Bisping has to be the voice of reason between two people, in this case, me and Rampage, you know you got problems. But look, Rampage and I have always been getting cross paths. He's beat up a couple of my teammates, quite frankly. Dan Henderson, Matt Lindland got over. Rampage got over on both of them. So he's been in my sights for a long time. I think he could say the same about me. But in this case, we don't need to apologize, Max. Let's just get in there with our mouthpiece and fight.
Chael, you had me separated at a hotel lobby in Phoenix, Arizona. We look forward to seeing you first up there early days. Best of luck, my friend. All right, let's continue the discussion. Let's welcome in ESPN MMA writer Brett Okamoto. He joins us now. And Brett, you've mentioned you like the tournament because of the names involved. What are your thoughts now that you've seen the bracket?
Yeah, I think the matchups here make sense. And check out ESPN.com because we'll have a story up about, some of the storylines to follow on this opening round. But let's talk about some of the names that are not listed on this tournament, but they could become involved. One thing about these tournaments, they take place over the course of a year, and you cross your fingers that everyone's going to come out of these fights healthy. However, sometimes injuries take place, as we see in any sport, and you need alternates. And so I spoke to Scott Coker, president of Bellator MMA, today, and said, who's going to be filling in if one of these guys, or multiple of them, can't continue on with the tournament? He gave me a few names to take a look at. A lot of these names are ones that you would probably expect. They're from the Bellator heavyweight division. You got Bobby Lashley, Czech Congo, Justin Wren, Sergey Karatonov, Javi Ayala. But then another name that'll strike you a little bit, it'll surprise you, it's Shane Carwin, the former UFC interim heavyweight champion. He hasn't fought since 2011, but he contacted Bellator and said, hey, this sounds like a great idea. I want in. And Scott said they're very serious about potentially bringing him in. He sounded optimistic, and what a name that would be to add to this field of already so many legends in the sport.
I can't wait. And to assume that this tournament is going to go as smoothly without injuries is probably a little naive, and it's good to have those alternates. We look forward to seeing these fights along with you, Brett Okamoto, joining us as the pairings and the dates have been shown.